Hi everyone,
I'm Shem.
and I'm Kate.
We're OT students placed at Philisa Abafazi Bethu for our CDP block. We're basically just going to take you guys on a journey with us today, day in the life.
So Philisa Abafazi is a women's and child empowerment center in Steenberg. Lucinda Evans runs the program or the organization, and she is a very powerful and amazing woman. She started it in her garage and her living room in Lavender Hill, and then they got a donation of containers, and now they're at an amazing facility in Steenberg. They have a range of programs. There's a safe house, which is a short-term safe house, so women and children who have been abused or have been a victim of gender-based violence or domestic violence come to the safe house. They have 14 days to stay there, where thereafter the social workers and the house mothers and Lucinda help them to find a more permanent space.
They get referrals from hospitals, policemen.
Yeah, it's like the first line of referral. And then they have, every afternoon they have an after-school program for children within the community, and there they play games, there's life lessons, and they're really aiming at bringing through lessons and raising their self-esteem through not using violence. And then there's a youth club every Wednesday, which is for the high school students, which run a similar format.
And then there's the seniors program, which is every Wednesday. There's a group of seniors and they come in and they have tea, coffee, play dominoes with each other. And what's really cool is that they're all actually planning a trip at the end of this year. They're like super excited, so they're planning that at the moment. We'll definitely show you what we get up to. We've kind of implemented certain projects, so yeah, stay tuned.
We'll show you.
So this is the road journey we took every day to Philisa Abafazi Bethu, where we engaged in naturalistic observation to understand who is the community and what they engage in. We then arrived in Steenberg and at Philisa Abafazi Bethu. Every morning we would have to sign in. We would then proceed into the kitchen, where we would make our daily morning cup of tea. While seeing that it was a Wednesday, we assisted to set up for the seniors club. So we're just gonna plan our day while the seniors start coming in. We'll go help with the seniors. When the seniors arrive, they'll first have their tea and biscuits, and Lucinda, the director, will then chat to them about planning their trip. And then we're going to be taking 2 seniors individually, and we're going to be doing storytelling with them. And basically we found that after doing one community mapping session with them, that they had so many stories to tell, and they really did appreciate that space of sharing, and they told us that it was awesome that someone could listen to them. That got us thinking, and there's this already set up storytelling project at Noah in Woodstock. We've basically adopted that and are still very much in the designing phase of the project. So these are going to be our first 2 storytelling, and the storytelling name is An Onsadar. They're very excited, and so are we, to get this ball rolling.
Just on that, with the storytelling through like an occupational therapy lens, we thought of the construct of occupational identity and how these elderly people have built their occupational identity throughout their whole life, and as their life started to like slow down because of their age, there's a sense of the fact that their identity is now being put on them instead of them like finding their own identity. Using the storytelling as a way to remind them of who they are and remind them of their identity, and that the social dimensions that are placed on them don't have to define them.
And then also their stage of life, according to Erickson. Majority of them are in the integrity versus despair stage. So they're reflecting on their life and looking back to see if what they've done has actually been worthwhile. This kind of platform allows them to reflect on that. We'll be giving them a hard copy or video. We're still in designing of that, depending on them. And then they get to do that what they will. They can give it to a family member, keep it for themselves, share it with the community. We're also maybe thinking of doing a newsletter, which could be really cool. So being the first ones here is a bit stressful, but also like super awesome.
We then proceeded to go to the hall to assist the staff members in welcoming the seniors. We did this by taking register, making sure that they all had their biscuits, as well as taking tea and coffee orders. Once the seniors were settled in, they were given the opportunity to go harvest the garden at Philisa Abafazi Bethu. It was so awesome to see so many involved in this. It was very interesting to hear the conversations that were going amongst the seniors. While the seniors were in the hall and in the garden, we then printed the consent forms and set up the venue for our very first Onsadar session. This is Edith van Heerden, and this is just a little snippet of the many stories that came about in our first Onsadar session.
Okay. Remember, Sunday mornings you must walk there. There was no taxis. Bus was there was no unheard of, because it's too much money for 5 children to go there. So we went to church there, came back.
And then when the session ended and the seniors went home, we got to our final day of painting.
So we're basically going to be painting this fun literacy game. When we got here, we were doing CRA, and one of the findings that was brought up pretty much amongst all the staff here was the literacy levels of the kids. We also saw that ourselves when we did a nice little community mapping session with them. Some of them, maybe even up to like 11 years old, couldn't spell their name. Then we were looking through a few programs on literacy levels, and we came across many.
Multiple,
yeah.
We kind of went through a series of trial and error.
Yeah.
There was one that was in Joburg, another one that was in KZN, and we got in contact with them and tried to find if we could get how much it would cost and if we could get training for the staff. So Camille runs the after school program, and it happens every day.
She would be here with us chatting, but she's off sick.
Everything we do for the after school project, it's with her. She would be running it, so when we leave and the next students come, she would be the main stakeholder and partner in the project. So we finally found one that was based in Cape Town. It's just down the road actually, called WordWorks, and they are basically a Cape Town based NGO that does training for volunteers to then teach literacy to children.
We're like focused more on the initiation phase of the OBCD, as well as a little bit of the designing. Like I don't think we'd implement with regards to the after schools program.
It's definitely an aim for the future.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you a little tour of our game.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you would like jump your name. So jump a word or jump, So that's that. Woohoo!
We then got painting the letters onto the pyramid, with the vowels being in a different colour. As we were painting, Lucinda Evans, the director of Philisa Abafazi Bethu, came to say goodbye to us as she was leaving the next day for overseas.
Legacy stuff happening here. Ladies, may I have your permission if I can pose you guys as the start of child protection for Philisa Abafazi?
Absolutely.
Nana kijk all.
We then proceeded to speak to Lucinda about where we are in the literacy program and what our plan is for the future, which she was definitely on board with. Continued painting until the final product is done. So this is the final product of the Jump the Word game, which will improve literacy, and then to the right are the games that will improve phonics and numeracy that we painted. Okay, that ends our day at Philisa Abafazi. Bye. Bye.